So, for my project, for my assignment, for my the rant is on the film we watched in class, Rhymes for Young Ghouls. All right. So, for most of the movie, this place takes in Mekonic Indian Reservation in Manitoba. The movie is shot over the year of 1976, when all Indian children from the age of 4 to 16 were, by law, made to go to residential school. So early in the movie, there's an accident that occurs. You see, um, Ayla's dad, mom, and her brother and her uncle. Well, her mom, her dad, and uncle are drunk, are smoking, and what happens is her mom accidentally runs over her brother and kills him. So what happens in a later scene is that you see her mom committed suicide, and her dad took the fall for the death of her brother. So now she's lost her mom to suicide, and her dad is in jail. So let's focus more on the character Ayla. Ayla is a more, I guess, conscious character. For most of the movie, you see her, keeping to herself. She's not really a loud person. She's very much quiet and mostly keeps to herself. It's not that she's not outgoing and doesn't talk to people. She's very social, yet along pretty well with other people. Um, so another fact is once her dad goes to prison, Ayla actually before her dad went to prison, Ayla's dad used to sell drugs, mostly weed. When he went to prison, Ayla kind of assumed the role of the drug dealer. Her and her uncle, they are the ones that kind of grow the weed and distribute it and sell it. So once her dad got out of prison, she kind of took over that. So the main reason that Ayla kind of, I guess, sells the drugs is because the Indian agent designated to their area named Popper. Um, if you she is at the age that she's supposed to be in residential school, but what she does is she pays off Popper to not go to residential school. So I guess it's, I think, like a weekly payment or a monthly payment. She gives him a certain amount of money so that she doesn't have to go to residential school, and also she pays Popper to not, in a way, arrest her for selling weed. That's another thing. Um, sorry. So one of the ways that many of the characters, I guess, experience physical or mental abuse would be, well, Ayla kind of experiences physical and mental abuse. I guess the mental abuse would be going through the fact that like her mother kills herself, and the fact that her dad's in prison for the death of her brother, which is also another fact. I mean, losing a family member is actually very hard. So you just go through the emotional stress of dealing with that. Another thing going through physical abuse would be that um, many times throughout the film, you see that Popper, um, being a very angry and mean person, will take off his anger towards pretty much anybody he finds. In many of the scenes, you see him punching or kicking Ayla. In one scene, he punches and kicks her until the point where she bleeds out. She has a bruised face, cuts on her face, and can't breathe properly for one point. And that's really most of the physical abuse that she experiences. Another character that experiences physical abuse is Joseph. That's Ayla's dad. At one point, Papa beats him to the point where he can't, like, one of his eyes is swollen shut. It hurts him to walk, and he has to walk. If he does walk, he has to walk kind of crouched over. So most of his rib area is kicked in, possibly a broken rib, and that's really what the most of the physical and emotional abuse happens. So another, like, I guess, a symbol in the film would be at one point, when Joseph is visiting the grave of his dead wife, he notices that there's no, well, he is drunk, by the way. He's drunk, and he notices that there's no, I guess, information, like, or no tombstone, basically saying how she died or who was she. He basically says that it's a shame that nobody here can get recognized when they die, and that's pretty much one of the more important things when you're, like, living, that you really, when you're dead, that you really have something to show that, like, how you died or who you were. And he really it gets really sad and emotional. I think this is simple because oftentimes you see many of the I don't really like to use the word Indians are like mostly the stereotype that's being drunks or being like drug addicts, which I think in my opinion that's kind of simple because you really see him at the middle of the day he's drunk, going around all sad. He's at one point he breaks the bottle on a tree, so he's really trying to take out he's like showing his emotions, and I think that's one of the things that I guess Indians are stereotyped doing a lot. And yeah, that pretty much covers the whole